Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on higher order polynomials. In this video it says find all the zeros of the following polynomial. Don't forget some can be complex. All right, so here we have a fourth degree polynomial and we don't have anything to help us out. It says write the function as a product of the linear factors, list the zeros. So we have to do kind of everything in this one. So the only thing we can do to start us out is realize that the real zeros, some can be complex, we don't really have much help there, but if there are real zeros, they're going to be a ratio of the factors of 16 divided by the factors of 1. So the factors of 16 are 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. So we have plus and minus 1, because dividing by 1 doesn't matter, plus and minus 2, plus and minus 4, plus positive and negative 8, positive and negative 16. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 10 options. And in my opinion, I like to start with the lower numbers. If there are 4 factors and we start with 16, everything else has to end in 1. And since this is 1, everything else would have to be a fraction. So 16 is highly unlikely, highly suspect. So I would start with 1 and negative 1 and go from there. So if we started with 1 and did synthetic division, because synthetic division is usually the fastest way to do this, or we could actually look at 1 by just plugging it in. If it's a 0, we should get 1. So we could look at g of 1. And it would be 1 minus 4 plus 8 minus 16 plus 16. Let's see, those are 0. Negative. This does not equal 0. All right, 1 is out. What about g of negative 1? That's negative 1. I'm only doing what I can do mentally. After that, I'm switching to synthetic division. That's kind of the rule I would use with my students. So this is 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16. The thing is, if they're all positives, they're not subtracting, right? Positive, 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 positive. That's okay. The ones are out. 2, I'm not going to do with mental math. 2 is getting outside of the quick mental math. So 2 is where I'm going to start my synthetic division because 1s did not work. They did me wrong. So my coefficients are 1x to the 4th, negative 4x cubed, 8x squared, negative 16x, and 16, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I sometimes miss a missing x, and so I always like to double check that it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, because sometimes there is an x exponent that is missing, and you have to fill in with a 0. All right. Multiply, add down, multiply, add down, multiply, add down, multiply, add down. Yes! It is very satisfying when we find one of our zeros. It makes me very, very happy. All right. Well, just because 2 is a 0 doesn't mean 2 isn't 2 zeros. What if it's a 0 again? What if we get 2 for the price of 1? Let's try it again. Multiply, add down, multiply, add down, multiply, add down. All right. This is what we call winning. So x equaling 2 and 2 are 2 of our zeros. Thank goodness, because this process would have taken forever and been tedious. And now we have x squared plus 4 equals 0. And once I get to a quadratic, x squared, I am not using synthetic division. I am just factoring or solving directly, because quadratics, we have a million ways to solve a quadratic formula, factoring, there's no reason to do anything, any of the practices of higher order polynomials, just solve it directly. In this case, I am going to subtract that 4 over because there's only one term with a variable, and then I'm going to square root. There has to be 2 solutions. The negative 1 is I, so we're going to have plus or minus 2i. So that's one of the things. It says list the zeros. And then it says write it in, write the function as a product of the linear factors. We're at g of x. So g of x equals, so if x is equal to 2, then x minus 2 equals 0. So x minus 2 squared. I could do x minus 2 times x minus 2. That would work too. X minus 2i and x plus 2i. Complex zeros always come in these complex conjugates. That means the pairs where one is positive and negative. So we expected that. And there we go. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.